Worzell Gummidge is a new programme that was on BBC One on Boxing Day. The first time Worzell Gummidge stories have been readapted since the original series from the late 70s, early 80s, starring John Pertwee. Now, this is written, directed and stars Mackenzie Crook from The Office, Pirates of the Caribbean and The Detectorists. It's its own thing and it's very different from the original series. Obviously as different as something can be when it's adapting something. First of all, the plot. The plot involves two children coming from the city and from a foster home to stay on a farm for sort of countryside getaway escape. The farmer and his wife are there to receive them. The farmer's grumpy because the seasons are locked. They're not changing, therefore his crops aren't ripening. This is a concern that the children then find out when they meet Worzell Gummidge in a field. He's a scarecrow that comes to life that he also shares. It turns out that due to pollutions in the trees, the seasons aren't changing, and they have to make a sort of magic crop circle with the help of Worzell Gummidge and his friends to release the seasons and get them moving again. Now, that's fine, and it's all very well shot, very well acted, very nostalgic. It's got this real feeling of adventure in the countryside. I grew up in the countryside and it reminds me of my summers, just sort of going around fields and tracks with my friends, just exploring. And it's really, really nice in that manner. It won't appeal to everyone. My wife didn't like it because she grew up in the city and she doesn't appreciate that because it's not nostalgic to her. It's not part of her childhood, but it's certainly part of mine. It certainly will be a large part of a lot of people in England who grew up in countryside areas, or internationally, to be honest, because the countryside is everywhere. Not everything has to be people stabbing each other in a central London or Manchester on the BBC, which it would seem, at Christmas, particularly if you watch EastEnders or any other dramas, is one of their staple go-to things. The scarecrows look like scarecrows, but they also look horrific as well. My wife said they're the stuff of nightmares. There's when he gets his scarecrow mates, there's all different shapes and sizes. Some have got pumpkin heads, some are sort of tiny little scarecrows. One's been pushed in a wheelbarrow and he's got a tree stump for a head playing a flute. And if it was all just shot with a slightly different filter or graded differently in the colours, then it would look incredibly sinister. But that's part of it, it is scary, and I think the original series would be scary to small children. It's like Doctor Who. Now Doctor Who's not scary because there's so much music and things going on top of it. But in the old days you would just see something and it would send you behind your sofa because it was sinister, the way they shot it and the way they did it. But I very much enjoyed it. I think it's definitely worth watching if you remember the old series. If you want something that's nice and calm and a bit different for you to watch, that isn't violent and isn't aggressive and is peaceful and respects the countryside, then I think this is something to check out. It's an hour of your time. I think there's a second episode on shortly, so if you like it, you've got another one to watch. I think Michael Palin turns up in the second episode, but it's definitely worth checking out. And it's one of the better things that's been on the BBC this Christmas. Well, one of the only other things that's been on the BBC this Christmas, because their schedule was pretty appalling, to be honest, over Christmas. But yeah, check it out. And if you've got any comments or there's anything I've missed, like sort of Easter eggs or whatever in the show, please let me know, because I'd be really interested to see them. And also, the moment when you realise that Sally hasn't got any legs made me jump as well. So if you like the channel, please feel free to like and subscribe. Thanks.